Universal Studios Florida is probably the theme park I spend the most time in. And even though I've been there hundreds of times, I'm still finding new things hiding around every corner. From interactive elements you might have missed in the queues, to secrets to spot along the paths and more, here are 10 fun Easter eggs at Universal Studios Florida. One of the most underrated attractions in Central Florida, in my opinion, Men in Black Alien Attack features a fairly well-themed but concise queue. Since everyone is paying attention to the worm guys on their extended break across the hall, there are a couple themed doors that are easily overlooked. Next time you're passing through, try to jiggle the door handles for extra effects that were left here by the designers. Every time I try these doors in the queue, it becomes clear that no one else had any idea that they did this. Often called the center of the Universal Orlando Resort, there is a compass design on the pavement of the VIP balcony above Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon. But don't worry, you don't have to be a VIP to see it. Although they may not be doing it during the pandemic era, if they're not busy, you can try and ask the greeter in front of the attraction for a studio tour. If a team member is available, your party may be able to get a secret tour of the attraction, including a trip to the VIP balcony. While many believe this compass marker is the center of the resort, according to what my guide said, it is not. Maybe it's supposed to be the center of the two main theme parks, excluding the hotels in Volcano Bay. In any case, it can make for an interesting photo op, and hey, now you know which direction north is. One of my favorite queues at the resort, Revenge of the Mummy, is just the right mix of silly and spooky. And I love the 3 interactive elements you can find around the dig site areas. This one is my favorite, as when the touch point lights up, you can activate a blast of air to scare unsuspecting guests on the bridge in the next scene. Time it just right for maximum fright. This other one requires 2 people to touch and hold these handprints at the same time. Don't let go for like 10 seconds though, and then a secret Magi symbol will light up on the ceiling. Most people stop after they hear the sound effect and miss this ceiling effect. And the last one, trying to grab this hologram artifact will get you blasted with air and dim the lights, which for some reason is always terrifying. Some of you may already know these elements, so here's a bonus thing. That giant ancient looking door prop near the attraction entrance was actually used in the filming of the Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser. Getting back outside for a bit, this next one is a theming detail that most people miss, but I find fascinating. Since many of the areas of Universal Studios Florida are set up as backlots for film and television production, a lot of care goes into even the smallest theming details. In some areas, you may even notice that the manhole covers are themed to the city you're supposed to be in. That means you'll be able to spot realistic New York City sewer manhole covers in the New York area. And there's this really pretty one for Chicago near Transformers, right in front of the spot where they filmed the intro to All That back in the 90s. Not all of the areas have themed ones though, like the London area, although they do have themed trash cans, which I think is neat. The fictional town of Springfield does though. Oh look, more themed trash cans. Neat. While we're in Springfield, if you've never been inside, I recommend checking out Moe's Tavern. Besides being a pretty faithful recreation of the location from The Simpsons, I love that you can find a real-life version of the Love Tester. It appears just as it did in the show, including in episodes like Flaming Moe's, which is appropriate because you can order that here.
Hey, your love tester's busted. I want my nickel back.
Squeezing the handle will give you your love score, and it's great for couples to do together, although hopefully you get a high score if you do. Fans of the show will find plenty of nods to the series around the bar, so it's worth popping in even if you're not ordering a Duff beer.
Duff beer for me, Duff beer for you.
SpongeBob StorePants is a great little gem of a store. It's got lots of silly sayings for Mr. Krabs and a few fun photo ops, including my favorite, Gary the Snail. Even when you enter the store, a sign asks if you've seen this snail. but he's kinda easy to find, sitting inside of the pineapple under the seat. But what makes Gary's little hideout so special isn't just Gary, although he's awesome. There's also party music and disco lighting inside. It's great for tiny dance parties, or even better, selfies, or rather, snailfies. During the holidays, Gary even has his own Christmas tree. I've mentioned this before on the channel, but there are some critters in the ET queue, not just on the ride itself. The forest queue is one of my happy places, so I try to admire every little detail as I pass through it. You just can't beat it as far as ambiance goes, and I've talked about how there's a bunny in this queue, but no one seems to believe me. Not only is there a bunny, but there are actually 2 bunnies and 2 owls. The first rabbit is right after you turn left. Before you get to the big rock that Botanicus comes out of, you'll have to turn around to your right before the rock to see him, but look for the blue lighting in the bushes. That'll help you find him. The other bunny is at the end of the queue, directly above the cave that leads to the furthest load area. As for the owls, one is in the tree above the express lane split, and the other is supposedly above ET's phone home machine, but I haven't been able to find it yet, so let me know if you spot him. One Easter egg you can spot all over the theme parks are hidden text with secret meanings. Just like how Pixar movies always include A113 for the room at Cal Arts where many of the animators got their start. Oh, would you look at that? There's an A113 right here in Universal Studios Florida. One secret signature that I think is really cool can be found just to the right of the Transformers ride entrance. GR390430 can be seen on this wall here against the exterior queue. Gregory Hall is the art director behind this text, and it stands for Greg April 30th. Try to find it on the Incredible Hulk coaster and Hagrid's Magical Creatures too, as he helped design roller coaster trains and more all around the Universal Orlando Resort. In the Wizarding World, a telephone box can be used as a visitor's entrance to the British Ministry of Magic. And wouldn't you know it, but you can find a phone booth right here in the London section of Universal Studios Florida. Superfans may already be aware of this trick, but next time you're walking by, if you've never popped in, give it a try. Dial the number 62442 or MAGIC using the rotary phone inside the booth, and a polite voice recording will let you know that visiting hours are closed for the day, but it's a neat little trick.
Welcome to the Ministry of Magic. Our apologies. Something has gone wrong with the atmospheric charm in the atrium. The visitor's entrance is closed until further notice. The Ministry of Magic wishes you a pleasant day.
And one last thing before we go, and this is more of a bit of trivia than it is something hidden, but I had to include it since I left it out of my Jaws reference video. The bathrooms located between London and the World Expo are left over from the old Amity Island area before Jaws closed. And since they never changed out the music loop for these old bathrooms, it still plays classic 1970s hits. Since the Amity Island area of the park was forever locked into the mid-1970s 4th of July celebration, the music loop was filled with party music of the era. Think of Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix, and you kind of get an idea. So next time you're using these restrooms and you're wondering why it has this music selections next to London, now you know. That's all for now, but these are just some of the things I thought might be fun to talk about around the park. Let me know in the comments if you'd ever like to see a part 2 with even more hidden things, or if you'd like one for Islands of Adventure. And be sure to subscribe for news updates and more fun stuff. If you like what we do, consider joining our Patreon for early access and extra content. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.